From the Green Forests in the Pacific Northwest, I bid you all good evening, or good morning, as the case may be, as Blue digs through his blue blanket, ironically. I finally got that blanket back, and he's having a heyday on that sucker. Look at him just digging around, digging around, digging around, digging around. He can't stop. It's almost like he's absolutely enthralled with digging around in the blanket. Come on, Blue, man, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, just dig a little bit. Ah, he gave up. A minute ago, he was underneath there having a grand old time. And now he just sort of gave up digging, I think. It's amazing.
They're coming to take me away!
Got the new sound effect, everybody. Got the new sound effect. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I put that in there. All right, back to the other case that we don't ever cover because we only cover one case, apparently. Maybe that should be a t-shirt. I only cover one case, but amazingly, I know about all these other cases that I talk about, but I only covered one. Oh, Jesus. All right, so basically, here's what I'll do. I'll do the recap really quick, again, of the Mackenzie Lueck. You know what's weird is the Mackenzie part of it never sticks into my head, but Lueck always does. I don't know why it's been like that. It's always cases like that for some reason, where a name just doesn't pop into my head, you know? Even though if I talk about it over and over, it just doesn't. Like Mackenzie doesn't pop into my head. But, all right, so let me transfer over to the other screen here. And you guys can call in and you'll just be on hold for a little bit. You'll be on mute, so I'll unmute you when I'm ready. But the number's on the screen right there. If you live on the West Coast, you call this number where it says Pacific Standard Time. And then the one that says Eastern Standard Time is what you call if you're on the East Coast. And then you type in the ID, and then you hit the pound key, and then it asks you to type in another number, but you don't have that number. And then it just says to type in the pound again. So it's really just ID pound, something like that. It tells you what to do, so just follow the instructions. Okay, so on the 16th of June, Mackenzie Lueck was at a funeral for her grandmother in California. Doesn't really matter where in California, but that's where the funeral was. And she flew back, and on the 17th, early in the morning at 1:35, her plane landed at the Salt Lake International Airport. At 2:09, the plane was deplaned. I guess that's the term they use. But while she was still on the plane, at 2:01, she texted her mother saying, "We've landed," or "I'm here," whatever the language was. That doesn't really matter. She just was saying that she's back. All right, so that was at 2:01. Then she walks to go get her luggage. About 30-something minutes later, she gets her luggage. And then at 2:42, she gets on a lift, which would be right in this area. If you go on to Google Earth, go to Street View, it's going to be one of these either over there or over here, but somewhere in here. Then she got into the lift vehicle, and if you go on Google Maps, this is the quickest route. She drove this direction, a little over 10 miles. I'll tell you the exact miles right here. It is 10.3 miles, and she went to Hatch Park in that lift vehicle and was dropped off at Hatch Park at 2:59. So 17 minutes after she got into the lift vehicle, she arrives here, and that makes sense. And she got out of the vehicle and went towards another vehicle, but the Lyft driver didn't know if she got into the vehicle. And then she just disappeared. And I think through looking at her cell phone and other information on social media, the police were led to this home, which is right here on, I can't remember, I don't have, well, actually the address is, hold on. Shoot, I don't think I have the address sitting here. But I got the correct address. I saw it while they were doing a street view and like a news article. And this is the house right here, although the street view is a lot older. I think it was like 547 North, 1000 West. That's what my brain's telling me anyway. So right here, this is just a few years back, probably. This is back in 2016. Looks like they painted it. That kind of thing. Police went out there. They took a bunch of stuff out of the house. They did excavation in the backyard here. The person who owns the house is a person of interest. It does look like that Mackenzie Lueck was involved with being in the sugar daddy, sugar baby world, even giving advice out to people. And they also, at this house, he had given away a mattress and then burned some items in the backyard just during this last week. So that's been very concerning to law enforcement. All right, so there you go, everybody. That's kind of a quick recap. I'm sure I missed a couple little details here and there. We know that the person of interest is a guy named Ayula A.J. It has his last name sometimes, and sometimes it has some I's in it. I don't really know exactly, but he's in the Army, or worked for the Army in IT. He's even written a book, it seems like. He kind of like a bodybuilder, fitness type guy. And just today, I think, a massage bed was delivered, and then the police were called again, and they went out there. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to take the first call right here. All right, so 816, you're on the air.
Hey, Gray, it's Cassie. So here's my first thought when I heard all of this in the very beginning. When all this started and all this sugar baby, sugar daddy stuff, it did look quite compelling that, you know, something, maybe it was a date gone bad. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as this has progressed, and especially with the new details, and the airport pics kind of made me change my mind, because she didn't look really dressed to go meet some guy that would be like a sugar baby or a sugar daddy.
Yeah,
to go out and
wasn't really impressive.
Sort of date.
Wasn't like she was dressed to the nines, like, oh, you know, like they would be expecting paying that kind of money, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And so that theory kind of just said nope right there to me. So with what happened today and the press conference, I kind of think that this was not definitely a sugar daddy thing. Maybe a friend that she's met more than once, or somebody she did the Airbnb thing with, like to rent or to stay the night. Because it was definitely, by the way from the account from the Lyft driver and the way she looked at the airport, it was not some sort of
but why would that guy pick her up? Why would that guy pick her up at that park that's 5 miles away instead of just having Lyft driver? I mean, look how close that house is to the airport. It's way closer. It's like literally, let me measure it. Hold on a second. As a crow flies, it is just a second. It is 3 miles as a crow flies, probably 4 or 5 miles to drive to that house, but it's 10 miles to drive to that park. So if she was going to stay at that house with somebody, meet them there, why would she? I'm just asking these questions. Maybe you have different, but then they drove all the way back down to this house, and you know that's the Airbnb.
Right. And I mean, that part is really hard for me to kind of get a great a good answer for. That's the one thing that is a little kind of murky for me. What I think happened is maybe she was a client for staying there, and something went obviously wrong. Maybe he wanted something more with her than that she was willing to do, and it got bad. It doesn't seem definitely, it seems foul play for sure. It does not seem like it was something that she hooked up with him for an intentional reason. If she was around him, it was either that she was getting a service such as staying there as a client for the Airbnb,
right?
Or it's somebody she knows.
But why did she go way up there again? So the thing is the thing that throws me off is, like, there would be no reason to go way up there to that park to then
right,
go back to the Airbnb, you know.
And I wonder if that's something that he offers, to protect his address. I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's the one thing I don't get about this is why did they have that whole park situation? Why did the Lyft driver take her to a park? And where did it go from there? And then how did, because from the account from the Lyft driver, it seemed like she wasn't in distress. She wasn't dressed like she was meeting a hot man to go out on a date. So my thought is either she knows the man from school or various circles that they may run in,
right,
or she was, staying there, and clearly something went wrong. And I mean, we just don't know that part. And the park, that's frustrating too.
Well, the park's just sort of it's the outlier thing. The park meeting at the park's weird. It's just sort of strange. It makes you kind of wonder if. Okay, well, here's the way if I was the criminal that lives at that house, I would set up a meeting with somebody at a place that she doesn't know what it is, but you just say, hey, let's go meet at this park. So after he meets her there, there's no record of his house, right? So he just meets her there, and then he sort of kidnaps her or maybe even just says, hey, okay, yeah, I'll drive you home now, and on the way back, and then he sort of kidnaps her and brings him to his house, and there's no record of it on her phone or Lyft or anything of his actual address, right? So the park might have just been, and I guess apparently he lived near the park a few years back, right in these apartments, Ridgeview Apartments in 2016. He lived right there.
16, yep.
Yeah, so doesn't that make sense that he's the one? I mean, what are the odds of that he literally lived like 2 blocks away from that one park 2 years ago, and then that same person is now a person of interest, and they've tied her to that house as well. See?
Yeah, there's a very big reason. Because it's not just a random. The odds are, when you say what are the odds are that it has something to do with it, definitely, for sure. I mean, it's not just like, oh, I always pick this park for my tenants who come and rent out to me for the night. I tell them to come meet me at the park, and I take them to my house from there. I don't see that occurring. I mean, for any of his clients.
Well, it just seems like he was like, hey, yeah, he convinced her that he was a sugar daddy of some sort. Then he meets her there, but now his address isn't known by anybody. He somehow that seems really risky though for a sugar daddy type woman, because they seem like they want to get everything, cross all their T's, dot all their I's and everything before meeting. But it's possible that he just had her meet her there and then kidnapped her and took him to her to his place that isn't known by her or Lyft. And then they actually found him through other means. Maybe a text message was sent. Then they tracked. I mean, it doesn't sound like he covered the tracks very well, if this is indeed the suspect.
Exactly, yeah. That part I will say, definitely. That makes a lot of sense, what you're saying. I mean, because there's no really other plausible thing that I could think of that would justify the whole, let's take a lift, meet you at the park, I'll pick you up,
All right.
and then what happens from there. I mean, why was she meeting him at the park? There's a reason. What is it? It could be, yeah, exactly, he promised her something and something went wrong and he kidnapped her and it went bad. I mean, definitely, I could see that. Because it wasn't that she was going out to the nines.
And she seems like
comfortable with this person.
She seems really strong too. Like she would be a fighter type, Like I've seen a couple of those pictures. She looks like she could be an MMA female kickboxer. I mean, she's like really strong.
Yeah, she's very fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably kick my ass.
I mean,
I'll tell you
basically, I mean, yeah, she's got a body. I mean, that's for sure. You can see the abs and everything in some of those pictures I've seen. I mean, she's definitely somebody who's very keen on fitness, and I'm sure she's probably, with being out before in previous situations, probably made sure to learn something in case something went wrong.
Yeah, and what somebody just said, meeting someone in a park in the middle of the night is not smart. That's totally true. It's like, why did she? And that was Deborah. Why would somebody literally get off a plane really late? I mean, early in the morning, and then go, hey, I'll meet somebody at a park, like way away, not even towards your house. It's almost like there was some sort of an arrangement, but she was running late or something, and she still wanted to get. There was some good money going to come in, but this guy wasn't legit. Like, he was probably a non-legit sugar daddy who just wanted, and she figured that out at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like, he probably kind of, I guess they can use the word catfish. He probably kind of, in a sense, I mean, said, oh, I do this, I do that, I have this, I have that. But I just, why meet somebody in the park? I don't know. But I definitely foresee this unfortunately, I don't see a good ending to this. Yeah. What really upsets me about it is that they have this man who is a person of interest, but who is not in custody at this point in time.
Yeah.
Which makes it horrible. Like, okay, you've got all these clues. You want a mattress. We're not stupid as a public. When you're asking for a mattress back that somebody sold, the clues make it look suspicious.
Yeah. I think he's got to be, the thing is here's the thing is they haven't found anything, though. They tied her to that house, but they didn't find a damn thing when they went to the house or dug in the backyard. Because if they found even the slightest thing, he'd be in jail, right? You wouldn't just let him. So that's what's kind of frustrating too. Somehow she's tied to the house, but yet they found nothing, or maybe they couldn't tie it to him in that house, right? Something like that. I don't know.
But it's just, I feel like this is gonna go so bad so quickly with him not being. We're gonna name him a person of interest, but he's not in custody. Okay, so what good is that gonna do for her case right now? Yeah. I mean, he's a person of interest, and you don't have him locked up. So why, at this point, why either A, name him so people know who he is, or B, why not have him in custody until, which obviously, like you were saying, they don't have anything to have him in custody. They haven't found anything yet. So maybe they shouldn't have named that quite yet, but because to the public, it looks like a guy's running free who shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah. What are the odds that he was burning something in the backyard and then getting rid of a mattress that same week, and she herself is tied to that very same house?
Exactly.
It's not very good odds, really.
No, it's not.
Hey, thanks.
So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on the whole situation at this point.
Yeah, I like it. It's
what
very,
I've listened to.
very logical. We still got to work in the park But sometimes things don't always.
Exactly.
Some things don't always make all the sense in the world. You know.
No. Sometimes criminals are very extremely stupid.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
And-
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, that was just my 2 cents, and I just wanted to, like I said, I was going to call in, so
All right.
here
Well,
I
thank
am.
you. All right.
So,
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
And tell the other
Yeah,
people to
have a
call
good
in
one.
that said that they were going to call in.
I will.
All right.
I will.
Thanks. There's nobody on hold.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Yeah, that's good. The lines are open. So all of you that said, "Oh yeah, I'll call in in that group," it's up to you. Or anybody can call in, but I just want to talk about this. But I will say right now, when I was in that live earlier, somebody she actually said something to Kit Kat, and then I looked down in the chat, and it wasn't our Kit Kat. Okay, it wasn't the same person. So thank God. I didn't think it was going to be, but I was kind of surprised when I heard her say, "Now Kit Kat, what do you think?" You know, I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." Let's see. Do we know? I don't know. We don't know any of that kind of information, like if they'd met before or anything like that. And by the way, thank you for the super chats up there. Ann Healy, I'm so mean. Jen Richards watched a bit of the channel directed towards you. Amazing how rotten people need to be. Go forth and do your work. Sorry, what happened? That file would affect anyone, even Gray. Yep. And then Jana Fan, so glad you have decided to cover other cases. See, that's what's so funny is that's the joke is I've covered hundreds of cases, and yet this one YouTuber thinks I've only covered the Delphi case. What that proves is she's never even watched my channel. Okay. Hey, 757, you're on the air.
Hi, it's me, Phoebe Beach.
Phoebe Beach. All right.
How are you? Hey.
Hey, pretty good.
Here's something I'm wondering, because I think it was yesterday you said there's such a long time between the time she got off the plane, picked up her luggage, and caught the lift. Would she have changed for a date? Maybe she had a little outfit in her suitcase. If we're wondering if she actually wore what we saw her in.
Well, I think that's what I originally thought, but I think that's all been kind of cleared up because I was thinking, wow, she got off the plane at 1:35 and then she gets to the lift at 2:42. That seemed crazy, but they kind of made mistakes early on in the news, right? So it wasn't even 1 o'clock when she sent the text. It was 2:01. She was literally still on the plane until 2:09, right? And then she walks over to the baggage area, and about 30 minutes later, she's got her bag. And I mean, there still is that 30 minutes, but the video that we're seeing is her already with her bag, just about to get onto the lift, and she doesn't look like she's dressed at all, right? You know the one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was.
Yes, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one.
Just wondering if she slipped into the ladies' room, did a little quick change, and was on to meet somebody that maybe she knew before.
It's possible. I mean, she does have a white top on that could be covering up something a little different. Maybe she pulls her hair up in a bun when she leaves, something like that. Who knows? Right?
Probably her parents or family dropped her off at the airport from the funeral, wherever that was in California. So
yeah. Well, here's what I was going to say. Is like here's the thing for women. If the thing is like look how easy, like right underneath there, she could have this pretty sexy top on, and then put her hair up in an updo in about 20 seconds. And like an updo looks amazing a lot of times on women in like 2 seconds. Like you don't even have to, just get in that updo, and all of a sudden now you look like you're a whole different person. I don't know what the deal is there, but I always like that look.
So I wonder, is there any photo of her actually getting in the lift? I mean, did her appearance change? I wonder. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just a thought.
I mean, she could just do that on the drive, right? Like get in the car, start driving over, just boom, 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 She had 16 minutes. Right. She had 17 minutes on the drive over.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, one other thought I had about the Airbnb situation at his house. Do we know? I mean, could it be that was there somebody staying at his house? Could that be the link?
Right, but how did right, well, I guess it could be. I mean, but why would the owner let somebody burn stuff in their backyard and sell a mattress?
Mhm.
I mean, that's the part
Yeah.
that doesn't make a lot of
Yep,
sense,
that's
right? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there,
Yeah, he wouldn't let anyone burn in the backyard, and that's right, because the neighbors did complain about the burning.
They said it smelled really bad, too, like it was...
It woke a lady up, I heard her say on the news. She said, yeah, it woke me up.
Maybe there was nobody staying there, too. Maybe they've been able to prove that there was nobody... he rented it, but it wasn't always rented, right?
Could be. I just wondered, I wonder if there's something else going on at the house, and we're all looking at him, and I wonder if there was anyone else.
That's right.
That could be the links. But you're right. If it's his yard, he's the owner. He would be in charge of burning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Just thinking about our wardrobe quick change.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, we'll have to look at that, because it looks like, who knows what's underneath that sort of really normal-looking top, right? Could be something...
He had a little cardigan on and a black top under it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, good thoughts there, Phoebe. All right.
All right. I'm always thinking, Gray,
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. 503, you're on the air. Hello? Hello? 503, you're on the air. Well, forget it. I guess there was nobody there. I don't know. So, for all the rest of you who are on that Facebook page that said they were going to call in, the lines are open. Yeah, my head keeps hitting the microphone or something. Let me try that again. Are you there, 503? 503. Okay, I'm just going to remove it. They will not be able to call back in. I don't know what that is. Little weird sound going on in the background. And this is the homeowner right there, listed on Daily Mail. They're talking about him, and his name is Ayula, and then like AJ. He has it listed on Facebook as the last name, but then it's a little bit longer than that. And here's the thing: is okay. This screenshot I got earlier says driver dropped off what appears to be an adjustable massage bed at the person of interest's house. I called the tip line and it got a busy signal twice. Finally got through after waiting 10 minutes, and police just arrived to check in and out. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure why you needed to add that in. You're trying to make it seem like they're a little slow. I think this police department really is on top of it. And if it was a busy signal, perhaps that meant that other people were calling there. Okay, Michael? All right. Yeah. Let's see. This right here is what leads people to believe that she definitely was. It's not just this. There's a lot more stuff. That she was involved with the sugar daddy, sugar baby deal. Like she's literally giving advice here. Oh, wait, hold on. I got some calls here. All right, 321.
Hello, it's Mama Bear. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. What's going on? You got a theory on the case?
I do. I think they want the mattress, and I'm going to sound disgusting for a minute, but I think they're going to try to get that DNA. Like, if they would have done something, then they're probably trying to get the DNA out of the mattress.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think.
So, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I just figured I'd call in since nobody called.
Well, yeah. It seems like whenever you call in, there's always like 3 that call in at the same time. You must be like good luck.
And I always wait. I know.
No, I mean right when you called in, there's 2 calls that came in all at the same time. There's 3 of you now.
Oh. Well,
yeah.
perfect.
So that makes sense.
Go to them. That was That was all I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
they're probably trying to get that mattress, because if they can match both DNAs into that mattress, then
Right.
boom, they got
Well,
it.
there's a reason the guy got rid of the mattress. If it's for nefarious reasons, there's a reason, and there must be something
Right.
that was, some sort of liquid of some sort that he felt like kind of might have got on the mattress. You see, so then he.
Yes,
Right.
but nobody would take that mattress if it had blood on it, correct?
Right. So it could
I
just
mean,
be.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Big blood spatter all over the place. So it must be. Don't fill in the blank. All right.
And
All
I'm
right.
not going to say it, but
All right.
I think we can all assume.
Yep. Well, thanks for calling
All
in.
right.
Good thought there. All right. Talk to you later.
No problem.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was Mama Bear. All right. Shoot. Okay, 814. You're on the air.
Hi,
Hello.
Black.
Who is it? What'd you?
Paint Black
Oh, we painted black.
is my screen name.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was thinking when someone was asking about if there's someone staying at the Airbnb, I was wondering that not because of the person staying there having anything to do with it necessarily, but if I'm going to do something to you, am I going to choose the night that there's someone staying at the Airbnb? So that leads me to think, would he bring her to that house? You know what I'm saying? To, like, kill her there?
Well, was there anybody staying there?
I don't know. I wasn't sure if you knew that.
I don't know that.
Oh, okay. So I was
Yeah.
going to say, if someone was there, that would be a shitty night to pick to,
Yep.
to do that. Okay.
Do you have your audio on? I felt like I could hear myself.
Hang
Nice.
on a second. I'm on my husband's phone because mine's dead. Let me get it off the speaker.
Yeah, blame it on the husband. Yep, that's what everybody does. It's always my husband's fault.
Can we get the speaker off? I don't know how to do it. Is that better?
I think so.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was thinking too with, but then you said the time has been figured out and there wasn't too much of a stretch in between.
Doesn't seem like it because it's like, you get off the plane and it deboarded at 2:09, right? So who knows when she got off. See, that's one of the things is like the plane deboarded at 2:09. I think that's when they start deboarding it, I think. Or maybe it means it was all empty by 2:09. I don't know what that means exactly. But let's say it started deboarding at 2:09. Well, maybe she got off at 2:15. And then, you walk over to the baggage area, wait a few minutes for them to, it takes 15, 20 minutes. And then your bag comes, then you get on the lift. It seems reasonable to me now. At first it seemed way off because the media was reporting incorrect information.
That's what I last had heard was the earlier time, like the 1:30 or something.
Yeah, 1:35 is when the
Yeah.
landed, but we weren't sure if that. Oh wow, so she's at the airport at 1:35, and then, but instead it's like 1:35 is literally when the wheels hit the ground, and then at 2:09 is when it deboarded, and then she gets on to lift at 2:42. And then she texted her mom while still on the plane at 2:01. Just say, hey, I'm home. So.
Oh, because I was going to say with that, I didn't really think that was too weird because, like, if it's 3 a.m. and I'm going to meet someone somewhere, and, like, say I have a 3 o'clock meeting or whatnot, I'm just going to hang out at the airport and then have my Lyft driver opposed to waiting at the park. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think one of the things that I forgot to mention was that there was also activity on her social, whatever it was, Snapchat or something, whatever it was, Instagram, I think, where she started following somebody, and that was yesterday or something. Like, it's kind of weird, but see, then if that's true, then that was done by somebody other than her, unless by some reason she is still alive, but that seems kind of dumb. Like, just follow somebody really quick, I don't know. And then I'm assuming, have they released or anything, like when her phone was last used or pinged or anything like that? They haven't released anything like that. Okay. Yeah. But all right. Yeah. Well, I got. Look at this. You
right.
guys keep ringing. I got 2. There was 3 more callers. Somebody hung up, but now there's still 2 more. But it's pretty good. Everybody's calling in.
Well,
Sweet.
nice chatting.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Good thoughts there. All right, cool. Are you still there? Or?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, this is 801. Okay. What's going on?
Nothing much. What are you up to?
Just doing
I'm
the
ready
line.
to do this. Which one do you want to start with?
What do you mean, which one what?
Which theory?
Well, yeah, I just want one. I got other
right.
callers. So
Okay,
do the
well,
one that you think is most
I'll give
likely.
you one that's kind of two.
Okay.
This one started with a theory about Will Donovan, thinking that he was involved and he had something to do with the disappearance.
Yeah, but
That
who's
he was
he?
the person-
But
the
nobody
third
knows who
person
Will
from the
Donovan
call.
is. Nobody knows who Will Donovan
Okay.
is except you, maybe. It's like
Will
nobody.
Donovan was the last
Yeah,
Will
go.
Donovan was the last person to talk to Kenzie, as we know right now. He spoke with her on June 16th at 10:38 p.m. They were having a discussion before bed, messaging back and forth, and they had a casual relationship. He had no clue at all about the sugar daddy theory, and any of that. And I asked him, I said, I'm in the Call Your Daddy, Call Her Daddy group. I have the screenshots. Would you like to see him? He said, no, I don't want to see him.
Okay, let me ask you
my
something.
friend.
When you said on the 16th,
Okay.
well, I gotta get this week. I don't want to just start moving on until I get something. See, on the 16th
for it.
she was on the plane, though, at night. So why would she be going to bed? Because at 16th she lands at 17th in the morning at 1:35 is when the planes touch ground. So at 10:30,
Okay,
she must have
he
been
was
waiting
going-
at the
He
airport
was
to
going
talk
to
to
bed
him.
then.
Okay, so she was at the
He
airport
was going to bed.
in California waiting to take off probably when that call was made, right?
Yes. Or she could have been, she's either at the airport or she's on the date with someone at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, well,
Because she was on the date with another sugar daddy.
Yeah, but Jessica just typed in, "Hey, they messaged at 10:30 on the 26th." Well, they didn't because that was yesterday. You mean the 16th, not the 26th.
She means the 16th.
Okay.
She means the 16th.
Right. Okay. So so now go through it again. All right. So this is a guy that she was in a casual relationship but wasn't aware that she was actually in the sugar daddy stuff, but he was like a normal relationship, but she kept it casual with him because she knew that she was in these other relationships, right? Something like that. Yeah.
To me, after speaking with him, I felt like they had more of like a emotional, personal relationship and not so much, the sexual sugar daddy type.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. Hang on, let me grab this. Okay. All right. So he spoke to her and he said that there was nothing going on. Everything was normal. No red flags at all. And then poof, disappeared, right?
Yeah.
So then you have this Aluya Ajayi who's out there,
Yep.
owns multiple Airbnbs, and Airbnbs have this stigma that the cheaper ones are used as basically for your prostitution, for people to roll through and have a gangbang in there and mess it up and leave. So that's one of the things about Salt Lake with these cheaper ones, because I believe that the one they were staying in, that guy's house, I think it was only like $50 a night.
Yeah, or that was 40 even. I thought I saw $40.
Yeah, that's cheap. Even
Yeah.
if it's just a flop house, like that's still pretty cheap.
Right.
And it was decent. It was nice. So this guy, did you see his book on Amazon?
I saw the picture of it. Yeah.
Okay. He had we kind of broke this part up between us, but he had things in there about murder, escaping personal experience, escaping
Is
the
it
law.
like burning or something? I thought there was something about burning.
Yeah,
The book.
basically, like a lot of the things that we're seeing that we noticed in that house with the police officers, with Jim Spiewak, doing his reporting outside.
Yeah.
So the mattress.
Mhm.
Here comes the mattress.
Yeah.
I think that he had the mattress. He knew there was something on it. He and his buddy, dressed differently, whatever, purposely went up to the ring, took the mattress. They went out, dumped the mattress.
What do you mean the ring?
They took someone else's.
What do you mean the ring?
The ring door cam.
Oh, okay.
Like ring door cam. Somewhere there's a ring door cam.
Oh, I see.
I guess this is a rumor again.
Oh, you make it so you're saying that
there's
maybe
ring door cam.
people he knew made it seem like they came and picked it up, and they'll never come forward either because they're actually acquaintances of him, right?
Correct.
That makes sense.
They're
Huh.
acquaintances of his.
Not bad.
So they
not
pick
bad.
it up, they take off, go off in a pickup truck. They go off, they run and dump this mattress anywhere in the middle of the street. It doesn't matter because they go out on the west side and that kind of stuff's in the street or on the side of the road all the time. They go and they grab someone else's and they bring it back, or they're looking for someone else's. They make it look like they don't have the mattress.
Well, I think now you're getting like way out into more. But I like the first part kind of made a little sense, but there's no evidence of that. But that's your theory, right? That somebody came by and took the ring. Two other
this
people
guy's
took
book.
it.
Yeah. Check out just read the front page of this guy's book where it reads like it shows him like the details of his life and coming from Nigeria and all this and what he's done. And the first page of the first chapter lets you read as a free preview.
Right.
Just check those out and read through that and you'll see that this guy has something to do with it more than just letting him use his Airbnb.
I mean, but he's the one he's it though, right? Like he's the sole suspect, right? I mean, you don't think there's a bunch of more people?
He's the sole.
Yeah.
He's the only person of interest at this point.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I thought they'd let him go pretty soon, but I think they're watching him to see what he's going to do. And he hasn't come back to the house yet, apparently. The massage chair or whatever that was that got dropped off out in front of the house.
That's a little interesting. That he's free, but he doesn't come back. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I don't even know if he has friends go back to grab his packages or anything like that. Like, I think he's just laying low. Like, he's off the grid, but they're watching to see if he goes to where she's at. 'Cause he moved the girls. He was the guy he was at the first house where Angela was cleaning.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows what you're talking
exiting.
about. Like, what are you talking about? The first house? What does that mean? Like,
wait, you guys don't know about the first Airbnb?
Well, it's just well, the one that they checked is this one, right? Yeah, we don't know about any extra Airbnbs or anything like that.
This is the one they served the search warrant at.
Yeah.
There's a previous Airbnb. This lady, her name's Angela Olsen. She was commenting on the news article and said, I called the police. They're not paying attention to me. Someone needs to call me back. So, people start hitting her up saying, Angela, what's wrong? Tell us what's going on. She said that the day before Kenzie went missing, that she was downtown at an Airbnb, and I have all the text messages that prove all of this actually happened. So she's at the Airbnb, and she shows up to do her cleaning to get the next person in the house, and the people are late getting out. They're shuffling, they're dirty, like there's drug paraphernalia on the floor, on the bed, there's blood, handprints on the curtains, and she said that she recognized Kenzie as one of the girls. There was one man and multiple girls.
But how could she be there? What day was this? When was this?
This was the day before. This is the day before she was reported as missing.
Well, but she was in California.
So
She wasn't
no
even
one-
back in town. She got to the airport at night. How could that be possible?
The day before she was reported as missing, not the day.
Oh, okay.
Not
What
when
day was
she
she
landed.
reported missing? What day was she reported missing?
Let me see. Does anyone have that answer? Was it Tuesday? It was the Wednesday, and this was Tuesday night, or this was on Monday?
I think it was Monday. Monday morning.
All these people saying, "How do I know so much?" We followed the case.
Yeah, they got a group on. See, people always do that crap. Oh, if you know something more than they know, then you're suspicious. Okay, listen. He's in a group where people are talking about it all the time. We do all kinds of cases. I know this pretty well as far as the timeline and shit, but I'm not going to know all the extra stuff he has. So just because he knows more than we do doesn't make him suspicious at all, okay? So let him just tell us what he's saying here, all right?
Yeah. Okay. So, the day before she's reported as missing is when this has happened. So Angela has no idea, no clue to do anything other than call the police because the place was trashed and there were drugs coming in. It took the police officers 2 hours to show up. You know, no hurry, normal drug downtown thing, no reason to keep going at this. So they show up and they take care, they move the drugs and all that. Angela goes to clean and she had taken pictures of all the blood, like all the mattresses with blood, the curtains, everything that had been destroyed, the drug paraphernalia on the floor, like caps to needles or something like that, orange caps. She takes pictures of all this stuff and sends it to her boss, and she's like, "What do I do?" She's freaking out. She's like, "There's no way I can get all this done before the next person comes." But the police could have totally bungled that.
Yeah, maybe
They
that
have no
blood, you
reason
could have
to
got
be doing
DNA.
it for an active crime scene.
Why don't they go back out there now? There's
You
probably
know.
still trace blood if, she didn't get all. It's hard to clean up blood where it's all gone. Right? So get them back out there.
And I don't know if they went back out there because as that was breaking, as we were following all that, that's when the news of the search warrant came out. And people were listening on the scanner. They're showing up at the second Airbnb with the search warrant. People are watching, listening on scanner. At the same time they go to the house, another police officer calls in that there's a body. But it sounds like it's same house. So there's mass confusion about whether or not there's a body at this house.
Well, you got somebody
Yeah, it was
in there that Lori Gammett says that the Angela's B&B was ruled out. But who said that they were ruled out? Like, where does that written?
Yeah, I haven't.
Like,
Yeah,
if you
the
know
police
that
haven't
for
even
sure, Lori,
anything about it.
like, where did you know that was ruled out? Like, that's the whole thing. Is I like to, like, what you're saying is I don't have any evidence either. I'm just listening to what you're saying. Like, you've probably seen these photos and things, right? That you're talking about? Or
Yeah,
not?
I have the photos. I have the screenshots. If you want them, I can send them to you. You can post them, whatever.
Yeah.
I can give you a link to the group where it's all in there. You can see all of Will's conversation about what he and Kenzie were talking about leading up their relationship. I for sure thought that Will had something to do with it, but then after speaking with him, like I think he's just a really good guy.
Yeah.
And he wanted to clear his name and he wanted to help because the amount of information that he dumped in our group chat.
Okay, well, Lori wrote in there,
police
Angela said the cops came and were more interested in the drug paraphernalia than the blood and dismissed it. Well, that doesn't mean that they ruled it out. It means that they just, at that time, here's the thing. They checked the day before she was reported missing, right? Right?
Exactly.
So
yes,
why would they be
correct,
interested in anything else? They're just going to go, oh, crap, blood, drug crap went wrong and all that stuff. But Angela said that she recognized her, right? Is that what you're saying?
Angela recognizes her later once it starts going public.
But did she go into the? Well, how did she even see any of these people? Because she's just the cleaning person, right? So when she got there, were they still kind of in there, or yeah?
She's outside and she's watching them walk outside. I think she said she saw Kenzie with luggage coming out, like holding her suitcase, and they were getting all the stuff, and they were gathering stuff that normally would stay and throwing it in the car. Stuff that would be. They
need to talk to her then, because
you and I would think,
and I think you could still get. I mean, I'm just saying, if she really feels like she saw, because a lot of times people insert themselves into cases because they want to feel important. So, like, you got someone like her that might go, "Oh yeah, I saw Kenzie and everything." Well, all you have to do is get the police out there and have them test one of these wherever the blood was. You said there was handprints all on curtains. There's still blood there, okay? Unless you put bleach all over the curtains. So just get a sample. That's all they'd have to do, and they could compare it to her DNA and see if it was her. And then, if that's true, then a whole different story starts happening.
If they have it, though, if they hadn't already cleaned it, because you go to a hotel and there's like all sorts of people with sicknesses and people that don't do murder or anything. They just have something wrong with them and they get blood on the sheets. The people come in and they put it in like a hazmat bag. There's special stuff for that. So that stuff could have been all gone and cleaned before they could even get their hands on it, before they even had a clue.
Yeah, well, it's hard to know, because there's no, at this point, there's no evidence at all other than her saying she saw her. But anyways, hey, why don't you send me some of those pictures? My email's in the description of every video that I've made in the last year, so you can just send it there, and
okay,
that'd be cool. Because I got to get these other. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll send you a link to the group too, so you can come in and see Will's AMA.
Yeah, I'll check that out. That'd be interesting. But send me an email, and hey, I appreciate your call. You got a different theory out there. Not bad.
Yeah. Do you mind if I put the group link in the comments?
Go ahead. It doesn't bother me.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah,
good luck.
Too. All right. Thanks. You too.
Bye.
All right. 562. You're on the air.
Well, how am I supposed to follow that call, Greg?
Well, just say, well, I heard there was an alien abduction right up the street. As a matter of fact, they saw a light beam out of the sky. The tractor beams came out, and then they were pulled up in the air with their hands out, almost in the spread eagle style, but the belly was up higher, almost like it was sucking them up into the craft. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I was tuned in, all ears. So
I thought it was interesting. I actually thought what he said was interesting. It just comes down to, I'd like to. Comes down to that lady Angela, I think her name was, actually see her. That's
right.
It. But there's no proof of it all. It just was interesting the way it sounded. That's it. That's all I could say. It didn't sound wacky. It just sounded like maybe it's not related.
Yeah, and it sounded like a lot of intel from someone I don't really know, but I was all ears. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like when people have Facebook groups on cases, and that's all they talk about. Sometimes they get really deep into there, and they get stuff that's almost too much information at times. So, so they have this way more information that sometimes isn't related. So what I do a lot is I just kind of stick with the hard, the big bullet points, and then the details too, because the cases we've covered that nobody else covers, we are those people, right? But this is one of those cases where I've got sort of all the main facts that the media talks about and that seem to be proven, and then there's people like I think, what was his name, Wayne. He's got a lot more sort of, quote, inside information. All right.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to kind of be in between both and kind of like take what you want, filter, and, just find kind of like the box of facts and the facts, and then outside. Yeah, I got you, Gray.
That's right. So what do you got? What's your theory?
Well, all I really know, what I read recently, I think it was from Daily Mail, was, did you read how the neighbor, like the guy's AJ, I'll call him AJ, his neighbor said that he would have a lot of like visitors, and like certain girls would knock on their door by mistake looking for his address, like his Airbnb address. Did you see that at all?
I don't think I know. I never heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had heard that his house was like, he was a quiet guy, stuck to himself. But then just recently I read how the neighbors were saying that there was a lot of traffic in and out of his house. So I'm not sure. Like, to be honest, I was on hold and I was listening to the previous caller, and my mind was exploding.
Yeah, that's right. Because then you start thinking, wow, they went in there and were concerned about the drug paraphernalia, but didn't really care about the blood. And then you're like, well, gosh, what if they, but then it's like you go down a rabbit hole where it's just, it's not even really that likely at all related, but there's still the fact that she said, oh, hey, I think I saw her with her luggage and everything. But
right.
Yeah.
Hey, but this is one other question that I'm not sure if it's been mentioned before, but the Ring door cameras?
Yeah.
Is there like rumors of the Ring doorbells? Like, is there footage somewhere out there?
Well, somebody mentioned that. Didn't he just mention that? Yeah. He was saying that there was maybe. Yeah, one of his other ones was that two friends or somebody that doesn't know that he knows were the ones that picked up the mattress, so that they would show up on the Ring doorbell, but then they picked up a different I don't know. That seems really too complicated now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Why not just give it to complete
honest,
strangers? That's even better.
Yeah, right. I mean, maybe I need a little bit more time to digest that call because it was awesome, but I just need to kind of do a little more research.
I'm just letting people tell their theories. Tonight's show is a little bit like my personal paranormal. I'll still challenge them on different things, like, oh, well, what about the park? Because a lot of times people get this whole theory, but they leave out a part that's like, try to explain that then.
Right. What do you think about how the park, the cameras, the video surveillance at the park, they had surveillance, but they were actually just decoy surveillance?
Yeah, they do that a lot. That way people are nervous to go there. They even have those, I think, in the Kanika Jenkins case in that hotel, some decoy cameras.
Ooh, a sore subject for some.
Oh yeah. Okay. PTSD. It's so sore I get PTSD from that one.
Yeah. I'll leave that alone, but I empathize with you.
I start twitching a little bit.
Well, yeah, I don't.
Look, this is what I start doing. I start going like this. Yeah, I'm
sure you have nightmares of the freezer, walking into the freezer and like, oh no, stop, shut the door.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, anyway, I adore you, Gray, and I adore all the listeners, all the freaks, freaks out there, and
the freak family.
The Freak Nation, and I appreciate it, and I even
Freak Nation. I like
the
that
good,
one. Freak Nation. Did you hear that? Oh, God, that might be the next one.
Yes.
The next shirt. Are you part of Freak Nation? Yeah. All right.
And by the way, I do have a We Are Freaks mug. I have just to take my photo with it because I'm trying to get a good picture and the right lighting, and I want my dog in it and all this. So anyway, but I love my Freaks mug. I drink out of it every day.
Awesome. I just was using my Oogla Boogla mug just now.
Excellent. Excellent. Oogla Boogla, everybody.
All right. Don't say it too loud or the bot. Well, I don't have the bot on. I don't have the bot. The bot's not. It won't reply.
Exactly,
yeah. So.
I think the bot's sleeping now. It's after the bot's hours tonight. But.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, well, Gray, everybody, next person call. I don't want to take up the phone line, but thank you very much.
Wait. What was your name?
Gray, you're the best.
Wait, who are you? Say what was your name?
Samantha.
Samantha, everybody. I think you
Samantha,
said.
thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks for calling in, Samantha.
Okay, Gray, you're the best.
All right, thanks.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, 703, you're on the air.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Who's this?
I'm Kevin Robinson.
All right,
I'm the
Kevin.
psychic from Los Angeles.
Oh, God, we don't do psychics. But maybe tonight we'll let you be a psychic because we're doing
I'm actually the one that helped the sheriff and Logan find Lizzie.
I don't know what you're talking about, but what do you mean?
The little 5-year-old girl that was murdered in, I guess it's Logan City, Utah, by her uncle. I called the sheriff's station, probably about 2 days before they actually found her, and I told them what I saw, and every single thing that I said came to fruition.
Yeah. So it's weird because we've done that a lot too, just by looking at the facts, Like we actually look at the facts in a case and then we kind of come up with predictions, and they're so close. Like if I actually was claimed to be a psychic, boy, I would be considered one of the best. But unfortunately, I just look at the facts, and then at the end, I don't get to claim that. That's the difference. Hey, but what do you think about this one? What's your? Just tell me what your theory is
honestly,
on this.
What I saw was when she was. I feel like she was in some kind of a arranged relationship with this man, and I feel like he was spending a lot of money on her, and I feel like he was supposed to pick her up at the airport. There was a picture of her crying at the airport, and I have a feeling that he kind of ended it, and that was why she called the Uber from the airport rather than having the Uber set up when she got there. And then when the Uber came, I feel like she was calling him. I don't know if she was trying to tell him that she was pregnant. I don't know. She had something over his head, and he said that instead of coming to the house or whatever, that he would meet her in that park close to his house. She met him there, and under the guise that they were going to talk, they went back to his place. I feel like there was a girl there when he left. He needed time to get her out, so he left. And in the meantime, she left. And then when Kenzie, or whatever the girl's name is, met up with him, they went back to the house that he had, that the police were at last night. And I feel like he suffocated her, and she vomited on the mattress, which is why there was DNA on the mattress, which is why he got rid of it.
Yeah, sounds like just some reasonable assumptions. Hey, what do you think about why'd they go to that park out there?
Well, I feel like he didn't want anybody seeing her coming to his residence. It was, I felt like that there was someone that was awake, there was someone that was there, and I feel like he met somewhere out of the way where no one would be able to see him meet up with her. I don't feel like he had intentions of doing what he did to her from the get-go, but I feel like that once they met, she was, I don't know if she was like, she's holding something over his head. Like I said, I don't know if she said she was pregnant or that she was going to expose him or something like that. But then by the time they talked, I feel like his residence had freed up enough, and they went there, and he suffocated her, and she vomited on the mattress, which was why he got rid of the mattress. And then he burned her luggage. He burned all of her belongings in the backyard, which was where that really foul smell came from. And then he took one of the shovels, and I feel like they're going to find her. What I've seen is like I said, I'm in Los Angeles, so I can only tell you what I see. But there's 2 warehouses at the end of a street. It's kind of like a dead end, but it's like a cul-de-sac at the end. And the warehouses are at probably like 3 and 9, and they're almost identical warehouses. They're at the foot of either a mountain or like a mountainous range with heavy woods. And she's just inside the woods line behind the warehouse on the right as you're going down the street. They're going to find. That's exactly where they're going to find her. I feel like he took.
Well,
the shovel
why don't you fly out there and drive
buried her.
him right down the street to him? I mean, my God, just take one of the officers, and it sounds.
See, that's my problem. That was the same thing with the case with Lizzie. I knew what I saw, and I kept telling everybody. I was like, but the problem was when I talked to the sheriff said, could it be a landfill? And I was like, that's not really what I feel. And they said, well, there's a landfill here, and that was what they felt. So they immediately went to the landfill.
I've got it. It's a landfill. There's a landfill in this one. Look at this. There's one just off to the side of a mountain, just right over, not too far away from his apartment.
Yeah, that's not really necessarily what I was feeling. But, and the same thing with the case with Lizzie. I kept telling them, there was a cement wall, there was something sewage, there was tires, there was mattresses, and I said it looked like it was next to a dump, or it was by a dump, and I said there was something having to do with sewage, and then there was something cement coming out of the ground. And when they found her, there were tires on the left, there were mattresses on the right. The yard next to where she was discovered it looked like a dump. It really did. There was a cement wall, and then there was a sewage drain, or like a sewage pipe. At least that's what it looked like to me. Everybody went off on me because they said it wasn't a sewage pipe, that it was a water duct apparently in Utah. But I'm in California, and that's not what they look like here. But every single thing that I said came to fruition. They asked me how I thought that he killed her, and I said that I thought he had carried her a certain distance of the house, and he got to an opening, and then he disposed of her. And I said that this was all stuff that I told them before any of the information was released. That's kind of why they took me seriously, because I had a lot of the details that they hadn't even released yet before anybody else knew them. And I had called the sheriff's station, like I said, probably about 3 days before they found her. And I was trying, and people on Facebook, exactly like what I did with this, because I know what I see, and all I could do is call to people, or like reach out to people that are local, and I can describe what I'm seeing. And people, they send me pictures of the landmark, and then I'm like, yes, no, it's closer to this, it's further away from that.
Yeah.
But I had someone reach out to me tonight from law enforcement, or that works with law enforcement actually, in Salt Lake City. And so I think they're going to contact me tomorrow, and I can tell them what I've seen, and hopefully they can find her, just to at least to let the family begin to grieve.
Yeah. Well, yep, we find them. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have had similar aspects of that same theory just by looking at the case. I don't think it's, I mean, I'm just not, I don't believe in psychics and everything. I mean, I understand that you do, but I probably never will, because I've seen so many times where it's just, and that's just my thought. But I mean, it's cool that you believe in it and everything. But I think a lot of times it's just intuition. It's like people look at a case, you kind of go through the timing of it, you kind of think through things, and then you have intuition of like, I think it might be like this, and like that. And a lot of times it's accurate. That's just kind of because, but cold, if you came in cold, like you literally saw nothing, because I guarantee it, you've been doing research like everybody else on the case. You've been looking at the timing, you know what time the plane landed, you know all the stuff that everybody else knows. You've seen the map. I show the map on the screen. Everybody knows where everything is, so you know all that stuff. Now, if you came in and just out of nowhere, like you've been in a box for 6 months, and then I open up the box and I said, hey, we've got this case for you. This is her name. And you came up with this whole theory, then I might go, wow, okay, man. Whoa, so you know that she got to an airport? You did all this kind of stuff? And so that's what I'm trying to say. It's just...
Well, I mean, that's you're entitled to your opinion, and that's fine. But I'm in Los Angeles, and unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, this isn't even on our news out here. I saw it on Facebook. That's exactly how I found out about what was going on with Lizzie. In fact, somebody sent me the link and asked me if I had seen anything with this. But I mean, I don't need validation from anyone. I've already helped helped 4 people. Yeah. 2 of them, thank God, they were alive. Unfortunately, 2 of them passed away. But somebody told me that they wanted me to call in, and all I did.
Well, here's the thing: is they had you call the wrong. Well, here's the thing: is they had you call the wrong. I mean, I appreciate you telling what you thought and everything. It sounded reasonable. They told you to call the wrong place. I think they almost did it trolling you in a way, because I've my channel, I've said a million times that I don't believe in psychics. We don't do psychics on here. So we got this one lady up in the chat. Oh, you're so rude, Gray. No, I'm not rude. This is me. This is what I've said 1,000 times on the channel. What's rude is you coming to my show, not you, not the caller, but the person in the chat. That's what's rude, is that you came to my show, you've never been here before, and you start bitching about me giving, trying to really kind of get into the what the psychic's saying in terms of, hey, because I don't believe in it, all right? So don't come to my channel and start saying, oh, that's rude. I was literally being exactly how I always am when a psychic comes on. So there you go.
That's okay. I mean, it does not faze me in the least.
Right, yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand how I do what I do.
Yeah.
It just sort of happened to me about 2 years ago. So you don't have to believe it. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't change one thing. I'm just hoping and praying that I'm wrong.
Well, here's the thing: is we got it recorded, right? So when it all comes out, we can go back to the tape and go, "Wow, that was pretty good." So.
Yeah, I'm usually not. And, if you want to do the research on what I posted and when I posted about the Lizzie stuff and when they actually released it on the news, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay. All right,
It was all well before they released anything. Actually, and I was dealing with the child's aunt who kept reaching out to me by messenger and telling me not to share so many details because only the murderer knew some of the things that I had was sharing.
Well, hell, don't you ever get in trouble for that then? I mean, my God, they should say, well, how did you only know what the murderer knew? Right?
Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
I fielded so many, even with this as well, people were reaching out to me. They're like, oh, yeah, you're the one that knew so much about Lizzie, and I'm still wondering how you knew that. Well, already they know that the uncle did it. I mean, I'm in fricking Los Angeles, for God's sake. So, I haven't traveled in God knows how long. But, like I said, I don't know how I do what I do. I just know that when I see something, it's usually spot on. Really spot on. It's kind of crazy. But,
yeah.
I hope that you find someone that you, I guess, believe in or that you...
I just believe in what I... Well, no, I don't... No, but see, But see, that's his thing is I don't disrespect you. I just don't believe in psychics. So the thing is there isn't going to be somebody else that I go, ooh, I respect them more, so I believe this next psychic. Okay, that's not going to ever happen. What it's going to be is that, I respect that you came on and you told a reasonable theory that, it sounds similar to what we were talking about. And that's cool and everything. I don't really have any, but it won't take somebody that I respect more that I'll all of a sudden believe what they're saying. Here's what I respect. I respect what we do. We actually look at the facts of a case, get all the timing down, we map it all out, and then we sort of theorize using that information to come up with a theory that's really reasonable. And that turns out to be very close very often. Like we're at the end, it's like, wow, we nailed that thing. Oh, we missed that little part, but other than that, we nailed it. So that's what I trust in because it's almost every case we're close on. There's some that were like, whoa, out of left field type of shit coming in. Like the lady that was pregnant and then the people ripped the baby out. That was a crazy story altogether. But that's what I have faith in. But I don't dislike you or, disrespect you as a human being. The psychic part I don't believe in, but there are millions of people who believe in that stuff. So
then where is she going to be found?
Don't know. I don't know where she's going to be found. You just called the one show that doesn't believe in that stuff. I think you got call the other true crime.
Look at the details, and so you're usually pretty close. Any ideas where you think she's going to be found?
Well, let's see. I think she'll be found with two, something's on the side. I don't know. Look what we do is we map it out, and I have no idea where she is right now. Okay, but you came up with what you thought where she was going to be found, and let's see if that's where she's found, when she's found.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all we got to
right.
do. But that'll be cool. It'll be cool that you'll have be. But a lot of times when people come up, like, go ahead, say where you think she'll be found again. Say it again. We'll just get that on record.
I basically what I see is it's at the end of like an industrial area, like a dead end street. There's like a round. It's like a rounded. It's not
Cul-de-sac.
Like
You said a cul-de-sac type thing.
Like a rounded, kind of like a cul-de-sac, but it doesn't have anything. Like if you're looking, if 12 is at the very end of the street, the buildings are at 9 and 3, and she's behind the one on the right. She's in the woods. It's kind of like at the foot of like mountains or like a hill, but it's thick woods that it backs up to. The parking lot is in the front of the building, and the back of the building leads out to the woods or the mountains or whatever it is. I can't really tell what it is. I can just see that it's thick brush.
Well, let me ask you this one: the
thick
times
tree.
that you're not right, what's the reasoning behind that?
Oh, I you know what? When this stuff happens to me, I know you don't have enough time. When this stuff happens for me, I'm not right. It just doesn't work that way. When the little boy was in Kentucky, his aunt reached out to me and she said that they think he's dead. And I don't even know if you know what story I'm talking about. There's a little 2-year-old boy that was missing in Kentucky, and his dad said that he wandered away from him and blah, blah, blah. And so his aunt contacted me and asked me what I was seeing, and immediately I knew that the father was involved. And I said, "Where's the father's mother?" And they said, "I don't know, why?" And I said, "What does Canada have to do with this?" And they said, "Well, he's from Canada." And I said, "Okay, well, he is trying to keep the baby away from, to get, long enough."
But where did this take place? Where did this take place?
Canada. Say again?
Where did this take place? The event?
Kentucky. Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so when I told the aunt went back and told the mom, because the mother and apparently the father were having a domestic situation, I learned later. And she told the mom, and the mom told the FBI, and the FBI put pressure on the father. And then lo and behold, the baby is found about 4 hours later, wandering through the woods. And, they kept saying, and I mean, I'm sure they're going to find enough evidence to get the father. But the thing that they kept saying was, for the baby to have been in the wilderness for 3 full days at 2 years old, he was in immaculate condition. He didn't even have a dirty diaper on. So, just stupid stuff like that. But everything, the aunt sent me a message, and she said, everything that you said, you told me my nephew was going to be found alive, and he was. You said that it was the father's mother, and that's who they put pressure on, and then all of a sudden they found the baby. And so, like I said, when I get these things, I'm not wrong. I'm just not. I've got just nutty. Like I said, I can't explain it.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll see in this one. We'll see in this. We'll see in this one. Okay. So you got it. 2 buildings on the either side, kind of ends at a sort of a rounded road, and then there's wooded area back there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And the building on the left. What side was which one of those? You had 3 and 9 o'clock.
It's the building on the right.
So 9 o'clock.
No. I'm sorry. Well, no. Okay. So if when you're driving into the street, the very top of the building or the very, very end of the street is 12.
Right.
3 will.
Oh, 3 o'clock. Right. Oh, so 3 o'clock.
9 will be your.
Okay, so the other
behind
direction.
The building.
All right. So 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So 3 o'clock behind the building. Okay. I thought you were going the other from. I don't know why I was thinking that, but I was at it the other way around.
That's okay. That's all right. I mean, I can understand that you could be confused if you're coming from toward me rather than going away from me. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But that's.
All right, we'll see. Well, I can't wait till they get the shot. When it's out in the middle of the woods somewhere, but not related to with the buildings. I'm gonna. Well, how about this? If it turns out you're completely wrong, will you come back on and tell us how that happened?
Sure.
Okay. I bet I won't hear from you again.
That's what you think is going to happen? Sure.
Okay.
I'll be. See, that's how confident I am.
All right.
I absolutely will. If I'm wrong, I'll be back.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. See you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yep. I guess we'll have to see. All right. At least he, I don't believe in psychics. I know some of the freaks in here actually believe in that kind of stuff, but I don't. Okay? I think when people say, what does Canada have to do with it? They could say, nothing. Oh, where? Okay, that popped in my head. And then they might say, he's from, oh, nothing, but the wife's from Georgia. And then the next one is, what does Atlanta have to, it's a way to sort of narrow things down. I hear a J, a John, Jim. Oh, wow. Is there somebody with a J in here? A Jim. Oh, a Jim. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was, he spoke articulately, it wasn't like articulately. It wasn't like it was some kind of it just seemed like the theory that he came up with what happened is similar to what we've been discussing all night, right? Like even Mama Bear, when she called in, said something about bodily fluids being on the bed, right? And that's why it had to be burned, and so forth, and so on, and so on. Right. That's what I think. Yeah, that's exactly right, Amanda. So it's all going to come down to this. All the rest of the stuff he said is stuff that we basically were saying too. Just not quite as little tiny details in there like, oh, maybe she was pregnant, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. But the location at the very end, that's something that you can't know, right? Unless you are either the killer or an actual psychic, all right? Like a psychic or somebody got lucky one time. So you got all those options. Yeah. That's right, Ada. That's right. But I thought it was, it's interesting. Like I said tonight, the only reason he was allowed to tell his whole story is because I said that people could call up and say their theory. Psychics are almost not even allowed into that realm, but I thought, okay, I'll let that happen tonight since I said that anybody could call up with their theory. Yeah, I mean, you could always say, like, let's say she's found 10 miles out in the woods. And then all around that wooded area, you find at some point there's a street that has two buildings on the side. And you go, see, look, right? Although I guess he's saying found right behind the building at 3 o'clock, next to the woods. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Well, I made it so it was more open tonight, not our more strict theory type stuff. We had the one caller with Angela, the housekeeper, at a different Airbnb, so, might as well. So any more people that are calling in? There's people there's somebody that came in. Hold on. 928. You're on the air. Hello.
Is that me?
That's you. Who is it? I can't hear you. It's kind of, you got your audio on.
Hang on just a second. How's that?
Pretty good. Who's this?
That's me.
I knew it was. I was gonna actually guess that, but I didn't want to. If I got it wrong, I'd feel bad. But I was gonna say that. You were so quiet though. You went. Is it my own grave? Is this Sass Mare, the nightmare, the sassy nightmare? Yeah. What's going on?
I'm just asking everybody to respect everybody, please. For one thing.
Oh wow! And your cat's saying the same thing.
That's Sassy. Oh, Sassy was fussing. Yeah. Sassy is fussing.
What are you talking about? What are you saying? You're confusing me, Sassmare. Is that the
Don't
name?
hear?
That's the name of your cat. Okay, Sassy's your cat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I watched. I watched last night. I watched Kelsey,
Yeah.
and it's time for everybody to just love that family. Okay, and this person, this
The video
this
maker.
person that was on today.
Yeah.
I listened to her
Rant.
I wouldn't even call it a broadcast.
Yeah, it was disgusting, wasn't it?
What she said about your wife, what she said about you, what she said about the freaks.
Yeah, she was just all over everything. She said everybody went over
Right.
there because I told everybody to go over there. Well, now people heard about it and went and saw it and went there on their own.
I didn't even see it until you said something about it, and I went
Yeah.
over there, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh
yeah,
my
but I didn't
God."
I didn't tell you, hey, go over there and write something, right?
No,
Right. I didn't even say the name
No.
of her channel. That's the thing. Myself, I didn't say it. So somebody might have in chat, but I didn't.
no, you didn't. Nobody told me in chat to go over there and see what she was doing. I was like, "Oh my God, this chick is." She's what do you call she's bipolar.
I don't know what she is. Something's wrong there,
She's
though.
beyond.
Because here's what's weird is that you could do a whole show that long and start saying such crappy things about somebody's wife that you don't even know. And then literally 90% of what she said was a lie, and the other parts were sort of misinformation, not really stating how things went. So it was really shocking that somebody could literally sit there and just do that. It's amazing. I don't know how she gets away with it.
Can you give me just a minute and I'll just put it out there? Can you do that, Gray?
Yeah, but try to do it. You got to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Gray, you've never done nothing wrong with
Well.
your wife, with your house, with anything that you live with. You've never done nothing wrong.
Well, I mean, everybody does.
And this
a little
woman
bit.
wants to trash you. She wants to say that your wife is I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
This is, that is sickening.
Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, it was literally, and it was not just once. It was 3 different separate times throughout an hour and a half. She came up with the same
Well,
thing.
honey, it wasn't just that, Gray. She was calling you gay. She was
Yeah, all kind of
saying
everything.
that you're
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm just not gay, but she was saying it to say it.
well, you're not
Like as a-
gay, and you didn't bring your wife over here and marry her for
Yeah, that never happened. Not even close.
right.
Yeah. But
And it's-
did you read? Did you
I
read
just
Shogun's
sit back
comment?
And I was like,
Shogun made a pretty. She really went through the whole thing. It was pretty good. And just a few people made some really it's like, but I don't think she even cares, right? Like, you can write something and she won't give a shit what you're saying.
I turned her in.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I was trying to tell her in my show. I said, listen, that's the kind of crap that you can get your whole channel shut down, and specifically your videos taken down for that, because that's absolutely against YouTube's terms of service and community guidelines, that kind of stuff, right? So
I normally don't turn people in, but I've unsubscribed quite a few times tonight. And this woman, she's sick.
I think you got that right. That's the truth.
She's sick.
Yeah, here's what's what's sicker
in my
though?
life.
Yeah. Let me tell you something though for a second. What's even sicker though is the all the people that were like, "Oh, I just subbed to you. That was awesome." Think about that for a second. Like, somebody literally sat there and listened to a rant that was racist. She's actually anti. Here's the thing: is she's calling me Gay Hughes because she thinks that's a derogatory term to call somebody, right? So that means then now she's like homophobic. It's like, wow. So you think it's being negative to call somebody that, right? So you've got that. You've got the wife thing. Then she basically said that I was telling Kelsey how to run her show. I set up her whole, YouTube channel for me, and she's just kind of on there. It's just garbage, the whole show. And these people buy into it. That's how scary it is that there's so many stupid people that believe things like that. Like, you're actually going to go, oh, God, I subbed to you. I love the part where you said that Gray's wife was, it's just ridiculous, Yeah. So, anyway. Keep going, Sassmere. What else you got?
Love you.
Love you too. Did you fall asleep?
No.
I was like, you were so quiet. Yeah.
No, I love you, Gray. And what she's doing to you, it's bullshit. I normally don't say them words, but it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was really, you know what probably the worst part about it is Kelsey actually watched that show and then had to put out a tweet later saying, hey, I wanted to clear things up. Gray didn't force me to do any, isn't that sad that she literally had to put a tweet out to answer people's questions about that? It's just disgusting, Like, why should Kelsey even have to think about something like that? So, yeah, well, here's the thing.
You look at Kelsey's sister. Let's think about it. This is a girl that got killed 2.5 years ago. This is bullshit that this bitchin' woman, excuse my French, but she needs to shut her fucking mouth up.
That's right, Sassmere. It's just, I don't talk about... The funny thing is she thinks I keep talking about her, but I literally... if I reference, it's just like 1 second, like Miss Wonderful, like, it's not like I don't sit there and keep talking about her. Like, she has whole shows about me, like what's going on there? That's sort of a psychosis, like a crazy Looney Tunes.
Well, I normally don't watch her, but for her to make a freaking show about you, I'm like,
yeah, I don't watch her either.
You're not my man, but you're my man. You're.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm she needs to keep her mouth shut.
Yeah.
She and her so-called this person with her.
Yeah, well, she's doing a show with somebody else. But you know what's weird is the other person's wrong too, but she's trying to ride the coattails of what she believes are these really great coattails of, you know, the lady that we're talking about. So we're talking about jewels of thought, like she's following.
Jewels of thought.
It's sad. It's sad because like she could probably have a decent channel or whatever. Yeah, but she's completely lying to people when she says, I just showed up and started. Like, Jewels of Thought, there's people in here that were there that day, in this chat right now. I think even Shogun might have been there. That's not how it went down. I went in there and it was quiet. Okay, yeah, but it was quiet. There was nothing going on in there. I wasn't even talking. But what's-her-face kept saying, Gay Hughes, over and over again, just cutting me down left and right in the comments. And I was watching it. So I came in and I said, wow, could you quit calling me that? You know? And then she goes, oh, Gay Hughes is here. And she just kept going on and on and on. And then eventually I just said, well, you're just a one-hit wonder. And then Jewels of Thought, using all of her wisdom, blocked me or put me on timeout for that. Like that was a cut down, even though she was cutting me down over and over and over again. But she wouldn't get timed out ever. And she literally said, Jewels of Thought said, well, she can say whatever she wants. You know, it's like, what a lame, that's just so lame. And here's what I'm going to say. People that are going to go associate themselves with her that are YouTubers are literally, they're at a crossroads right now. Like people like Greeno. See, Greeno just got out of prison, was there for 6 months. And, you know, it seems like he has a little different attitude coming out, better type of thing. And
yeah,
what
yeah,
is he,
he's
12?
lost right now.
What are you talking about, son? I don't get what your comment means. Yeah, so he comes out and it seems like that, you know, he could go a different direction and be more fact-based and kind of stick to the facts and do like his investigations that he does and just go on a different route and get more respect from the families and so forth. But if he goes in a route where he's teaming up with this nut job, he's gonna spiral so far out of any good graces of anybody, it will be devastating, you know. And that's just the reality of it. He might want to go there because he thinks he can get a bunch of subs from it, but you know. Yeah, I wasn't sure what that meant, son. You know, normally you say you make normal comments, but what does that mean? What is she, 12? Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were actually. I didn't know what you were saying.
Grade school, son.
It made
Is that
sense.
what you're saying?
The next time I read it, it made sense. No, he meant he was kind of quoting what the lady said. He's saying, "Wow," referring to the nut job. What is she, 12? And then quoted her, and then, you know, so I know what he was saying now. Don't worry about it, son.
Okay.
Anyways, let's see. Why is
I'll take your word on that.
Yeah, I went back and I read through it. See, that's the difference between me and somebody like her, is I'll go back and try to figure out what was said. You know, and if I make a mistake, I'll make a mistake. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. If somebody knows who Dana Maupin is, I've told her, I go, hey, listen, I've seen her. She kind of disses me on Randy's channel, but, you know, that popped into my head yesterday, but I don't really have anything against her or anything like that. She seems like a nice person, but I kind of was like, oh yeah, you're the, because I remembered it. I wasn't really in a great mood yesterday, so for a bit of that evening.
I'm going to just take a second here. I'm a mod, and if you diss my man here,
all right.
If you diss Gray, you're going to get it. If you diss a mod, you're going to get it. If you diss a family member, you're going to get it.
That's right.
I love y'all.
Well, thanks for calling in, Sassmere. You're the best. All right? You're awesome.
I love you too, hon.
All right. Have a good evening. I'm going to get this other call, but you made my night. You made my night. All right?
Love you, Gray.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. All right, 707. You're on the air. Great call by Sassmere, by the way. What's going on? 707.
Hi, this is Susanna, and I'm calling about troll education. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you mean by troll education?
I saw part of the video that was really rather offensive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fairly active in a sector where offensive videos are common and not odd. And the only way really to fight them when they first come out is to totally ignore them. Don't go on their channels. Don't have your people go on their channels. Do absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
and
that's probably right.
9 times out of 10, they're not getting the reaction they want, which is for you all to be, people who follow you, to be pulled in.
Yeah, so, I don't have people go over there, but at the same time, when somebody, see, normal trolling this is sort of a different level here. Like, it went outside the level. Like, there should be consequences because she was calling my wife all these different things, like, that my wife is, I don't want to even repeat it, but she was going off on my wife. So for me, that's a different level where there needs to be some sort of consequences by YouTube on her channel.
I'm a mod on the channel whose owner, his 11-year-old daughter, another YouTuber, posts videos day after day saying that her father is a pedophile. He's saying that the little girl deserves to be raped. He's giving out the school she attends. Every time Tommy moves, he and his little minions find where he's moved to.
Wow.
Yes. This is to the point where Tommy got a restraining order, and not even that stopped the maniac. So what you have to do is not let it get so far, and you have to just ignore these people right at the beginning, because you've caught it at the beginning. You haven't let it spin, if you follow me. I mean, we've been going around with Two Freeman, this bloke. We've been going around with him for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And YouTube won't take him down.
See, why is that, though? Isn't that weird? I mean, it's weird that you can send them something on a specific thing that literally is obvious, and they just don't care. But then they knock you down for something that's totally... YouTube sucks. Yeah. That's all I'm going to tell you.
YouTube does. YouTube majorly sucks. I had my little channel, I had maybe, 10,000 subscribers. And all I was putting up was programs with my dogs. I train protection dogs. And I put in a chat that I was on Tommy's Patreon. All of my associated YouTube channels were flagged and went down. It took me 4 and 5 days to get them back, and one I never got back. And there was nothing on it. They couldn't have possibly found a copyright strike. I've never threatened to kill anybody.
You know what's funny is I don't know if you heard it, John Crimes, but he made a video today. It was hilarious. He just has his grill, like his face, and he goes, "Hi," and he basically just talks about rainbows. I love every one. He goes, "I love every one of you," and then he just wanted to see if it was a test that he could get that demonetized. He wanted to see, and I said,
bet he did.
"Well, I don't know. I haven't heard the response, but I thought it was hilarious because he's being just demonetized like everybody else." So he put a video out and said, "I love all of you. Every one of you, your sunshine and lollipops, whatever," and that was it.
Yeah.
Now I got to see what happened there. That's hilarious.
It'll be interesting. I was going to say something else about the trollish people. If you really care about a content creator on YouTube, the absolute best thing you can do is support his channel, your channel, is 100%, but don't go to the other channels and start arguments and beefs, because they'll just come back around again. And you'll have people coming in, and as soon as you block them with one YouTube channel name, they can make 15 others. And they'll just come back and back and back.
Yeah.
And they'll start naming, the channel names will come with really foul
Yeah, we get that.
implications just in the, and you can't delete them. You can delete the comment, but you'll always see the disgusting ID. You know, like Alex should be right, something like that. That'll always be there.
Yeah. Well, no, but you can delete. Like whenever I hide somebody, they're gone and doesn't show up anymore in the chat.
The name usually shows up with the name and then message deleted.
Yeah, I don't see that when I rewatch it. They're just gone.
Okay, that's brilliant then.
Yeah, maybe they
That's
fix
brilliant
that.
for you.
That later or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you have to block them too. I always, as soon as somebody says something stupid, when you hide them, I guess that's the same as blocking actually. When you're in the chat and you hide them.
You can time people out.
Yeah, that's the 300.
For 300 seconds.
Yeah.
You can hide them, or you can block them so they can't come back through.
Right.
But all they'll do is, it takes only 2 or 3 minutes to get a whole nother identity on YouTube. Come right back and start it right over. Same
Yeah,
chat.
but what's cool is they only get one comment and then they're gone. It's awesome. Like our moderators just go, bing, gone. You know, so it's like they're gonna have to, 3 minutes. Oh shit, I gotta take another 3 minutes. Oh, 3 more minutes. Oh, and then after a while, they're just like, oh, forget it.
Yeah. The channel, the couple of channels I'm a mod on, several. There are literally maybe 1,500 people in the chat at any given time, so it's really hard for us to stay right on top of everybody. But we do our best at it.
Yeah, I only have usually
again,
like 200 to 400, maybe 200 to 400. It's a little easier, probably.
Yeah, and that's actually a good number for a chat, because people kind of get to not know each other, because you really can't know somebody via YouTube, but you get a family that way. The bigger chats, just there's a family, but it's like a really dysfunctional one sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think your channel is a nice size.
Yeah.
In the chat, because it is. I think that's what I was going to say. But my advice is, since this just started, and Tommy's error was he ignored the guy, and then he noticed him, and he gave him attention, and that guy's views. He had maybe 80 followers and hardly any views. By a year, just because of the bickering and going back and forth, he had 8,000 followers. Or even more than that.
Yeah, that sells though. People love drama. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think it's such a waste of time. I mean, it is. Look, it is entertaining, right? You watch it, and it's like, yeah, entertaining. But it's so useless. It's like it's absolutely a complete waste of time.
Yeah, there's this guy in Indianapolis that is the main, in a sector I'm in, the main person that's making everybody miserable. He literally was on YouTube just talking for 8 hours straight, saying vile things about a little girl, 10 years old, 11 years old. Vital things that you would think YouTube would ban his hide forever. Never happened. And
why do you think that? Why do you think that is, though? Like, what's going on there?
I think my personal little opinion is that if you don't like the original channel, like for example, if someone in the YouTube land over in Menlo Park in California see something about your channel and they don't like it, for whatever reason, it's usually not a good reason, they won't act against the people who are attacking your channel like they ought. It's sort of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And there are literally people, they're literally YouTube administrator types that just don't do their job, or they see that they don't like the message of the big channel holder. I mean, Tommy had a channel with 300,000 people on it.
Yeah.
And this guy and his little minions has got it taken down forever. And they just keep coming back and coming back. So, you know, every so often we'll raise up and we'll order a bunch of pizzas to be delivered to this bloke's house. But then all you can do is try to troll him back, and it becomes a vicious cycle. So I think that you have such nice people on this comment board. I'm seeing them, and they love you, and you do really good work. And in your case, it's valuable. I would just ignore the heck out of that woman, and it's going to frustrate her. And if the people who really matter stay with you, she'll be nothing.
No, I think you're.
And
I think
also,
you're probably
please
right. I mean, I
get-
get that advice a lot. Today just felt a little bit different. I don't mind if somebody's bashing me, but I get what you're saying.
The people you love.
Yeah, like they bashed the child of the guy you're talking about, and eventually you just ignored it and then it went away. But it's hard, it's hard to just
it
do
didn't
that.
go away. It's still happening. He's still doing it. And there's an actual restraining order on the guy, not to mention Tommy Sotomayor's name. He still does it and nothing happens. YouTube does nothing. 500 people will report his channel for saying this little girl ought to be, people ought to come rape her, or someone should go kill Tommy, and this bloke in Indiana will give him $1,000 if they do it. He says it right on YouTube, right in front of God and everybody.
That's so weird.
Nothing happens.
Why is that? God,
It's sick.
That's just.
It's sick. What it is, it's sick. And,
what's sick is it's more sick is that YouTube doesn't do anything. I mean, you got this sick
that's
person.
What I mean. It's sick.
Yeah.
One of this guy's people, I made a comment that I thought that this True Freeman bloke was a paranoid schizophrenic with obsessive compulsive and narcissistic disorder. I got the world's longest comment, basically in capital letters, threatening my children, saying that my children ought to be anally raped.
Jesus.
Over and over again, with other things I'm not even going to say here. I managed to get him off YouTube.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was extremely lucky. I think it was because I had no content on my channel. I didn't even have, at that time, I didn't even have dog videos up. It was just, this channel has no content. So someone in Menlo Park, they had nothing against me. I was just a freaked out mom. And so I got some action. But this True Freeman bloke that we have in Indianapolis, and now there's a guy in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and there's somebody in London, and it's just grown internationally into a big, huge drama mess. I think since there's no more soap operas on the telly in the States, YouTube has become its replacement.
Wait, General Hospital's not still on? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I'm from the UK and live in Brazil. I'm using a really wonky phone to get to you. And, I think that I don't think there's any soaps on the telly in the States. So YouTube has become its replacement, literally. And the thing with YouTube is that you can be on one side of the world and attack somebody on the other side of the world who you will never see, you do not know, and you can just do it and do it and do it. And some people just get off on the doing.
Yeah.
You know, I could go into the psychology of what I think of some of these people, but in the case of what I've experienced, it's a bunch of people following a very, very, very sick man in order to make life miserable for a person whose opinion they do not agree with. Yeah. So I guess my call is to just say to everybody, yeah, you want to go after this person, and you definitely should report the channel, because you may get lucky and she'll get taken down. But that doesn't mean she can't come right back and make another channel and hit you harder.
Right.
So if you can keep the war from starting, you'll win it.
Right.
If you get into a tit and tat battle, no one wins.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It just sends.
It's hard for me though, but
everybody off topic. You know, you go off in different directions, none of which are very productive.
Yeah, it's just so. Yeah. It's what I hate though is somebody to be able to say the things that they say, and then just get off scot-free. Like, oh yeah, who you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sucks. But I guess you got to do it.
I agree.
I guess you got to do it.
I agree. There's been channels taken down, big ones, that are not taken down because someone's threatening people. It's just YouTube doesn't like their opinion. And that, you know, I think that's censorship, and that's entirely wrong.
Yeah, that's terrible, but yeah.
Yeah, but YouTube ought to be able to see when something is egregious, like what happened to you. But what often happens, and it's a word of warning, is these people will put that video up, have it up long enough for you to have a really bad feeling from it, then either take it down or put it on private before YouTube even gets to the video to review it.
Yeah, well, it's still up there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that happened. Like, how is it still sitting there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you report it, sometimes that can come down within 6 hours. It just depends. And if they take your own channel down, it can be couple three days before you get it back.
Now, how do you get it back?
You can appeal it to YouTube if you think this action, you know, they get you the community guidelines strike, right? And it says something like, and I should have it memorized, I've had to use it so often. If you disagree, if you think you've been suspended in error, contact this link, and you can put a little blurb in pleading your case. It goes to some magic place where some magic person decides your fate.
But they don't get a hold of you where you're on there?
No. Oh no. I have literally gone to sleep, and in the morning I can't, you know, unable to access this Google. I'm trying not to have an accent, and it makes it worse. Unable to access this Google product, which is YouTube. So it's really a very dangerous. It's a dangerous space to be in sometimes, and I think it's just so wrong, because really good people get distracted from doing really good things just because you're fighting an unworthy battle. I mean, I belong to a channel. All we do is we're the activists for children. Basically, we take cases where children have been murdered or abused, whatever you have it, and we follow those cases. We've had strikes against us, and all we're doing is somewhat like you're doing, only a little bit. It's a little bit different, and we get strikes.
Yeah.
And why? All we're saying is this child was murdered and this is why. This is psychological and sociological reasons why. What is insulting about that? Nothing.
Okay.
But it's a battle, and so that's what I'm going to say. I just want to say that if you do not want to start the battle, and the best time to quash it is like right now. Just pretend that person does not exist. Consider the source, and move along. But you can watch and see, definitely. If it continues, just don't respond. Don't have your people fight back, and troll them, or not even troll them. Support you there.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm sitting. The way what happens is I don't follow these channels, but people end up sending me a link. Oh God, look at they're attacking you here. Then I go watch it, and then I'm like, God, did you guys see this to somewhere else? And then it sort of spreads around. I guess what would be great is if nobody sent me anything. I mean, that's the only way I can control myself. It's like putting chocolate cake, but in a negative way, in front of my face. I'm going to eat the whole damn. Yeah, I'd eat the whole damn thing. Right? Okay, so.
Yeah, it's. I lost my train of thought. I'm Irish. That happens. What was I going to? I had another last piece of advice.
Where do you live in? I've been to. I live in we went to the Ring of Kerry. Killarney is where I love that town.
So
Killarney.
So you went to County Clare.
I'm
from County Donegal.
Oh.
County Donegal is up northwest. We're kind of between the Irish Sea and Northern Ireland.
The Clancy brothers.
But I'm not.
I like I know all the Irish beer drinking songs from the Clancy brothers. From the Clancy brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
know there's
and I know all the.
There's a golf course called the Dukes. That's in it's in that same area that I was at, and it was built in 18 something. And I was playing there, and at the end, I went to the clubhouse, and there was like this guy that was 98 or something. I mean, just old, just really old. And he literally, like, we sat there and did one of the songs. I think it was Johnny McEldo. That one, you know that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Come on, let's hear it. Ding, 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 ding. You're not gonna sing it?
And it's it's really truly lovely,
Yeah. We sang it together. That's the cool part.
Yeah, I mean, and Ireland is truly a beautiful country, and it's a country which genuinely likes Americans, and you won't get that everywhere these days.
Well, it's just such a great. I love the culture there because it's just its own. You walk down the streets and. When I was in Killarney, in every bar, everybody's singing together and stuff. It's just like, it's freaking awesome. I mean, it's like we don't do that here. Everyone's punching each other. It's like, I'm sure they get in fights there too, but
we still have pubs in Ireland.
Yeah.
Where you can take your children. I'm not saying all of them you do that. Definitely not. Some have descended into being clubs, but we still have pubs in Ireland where you can take your children. And there's music playing and people talking and just being a community. And that's what's really lovely about all that, and some of the most gorgeous scenery you can imagine.
No, it's amazing.
And the history.
The rolling hills, little old. It was amazing. We were in a bar one night. And it was just kind of like this warehouse, and I was in there, and we were just drinking, and then I asked the person, "Hey, when was this built?" And they said, "Oh, like 11 something." I mean, I think it was either 11 or 14. I think it was like 1,000, 900 years ago or some crap. Just some building that we're in there eating, drinking beer. It's like, really? I mean, that's crazy. We don't have anything like that over here.
We have we have monuments that are.
Yeah.
We have one. We have some Neolithic monuments in Ireland, and they keep finding more of these huge barrow temples from before the Celts.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Also, I have to say, it's amazing how much the Irish culture survived for 300 and some years after the English came and invaded. The Irish, we've managed to keep a culture that's uniquely ours.
Yeah, it's totally different then.
It's totally different, and it's we have had some of my ancestors lived knee deep in a peat bog, and 3 million starved to death in 30 years in the 1800s.
I think I might have to play my friend. We have a friend named Audra Blankenship. She sings these Irish. She has an Irish band, and she gave me the like all of her songs. So I usually play. Sometimes I play "Parting Glass," that song, at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead. 1300s. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the buildings are so old. You wonder if you could just sort of find something, in a crack of a the bricks or something.
Yeah, it's purely lovely, and you can get, like I say, you can go to see the culture, you can see the scenery, you can hang out with people, and they speak your same language. It's not like you go to Germany and you have to translate, or Poland now. I can't do Poland. I don't understand the language, and so yeah. And for, let's see, someone was an O'Donnell. My clan is related to the O'Donnells.
The O'Donnells.
Yeah, the O'Donnells. Yeah, Red Hugh O'Donnell was one of the wild geese, the flying earls, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So
there's just so much. There's so much like lore and all that kind of stuff over there. It's crazy. I remember we went to this town. It was called Killarney, and there was this town drunk. His name was Paddy Dunlop. I mean, it's like, come on, that's just so cliche. That's almost like a cliche, like a name. But his name was Paddy. Yeah.
Like out of Darby O'Gill and the Little People,
Yeah, so
like out of some movie.
His name was Paddy Dunlop. We'd call, So I mean, he was just so drunk. He was just drunk. Like we were just sitting there and we'd say, "Who's this guy?" Oh, he's just a town drunk. So he's just in the bar, and then my friend goes in. He goes to the bathroom, and Dunlop's already in there peeing. And then when my friend went to pee, Dunlop just turned while he was still peeing and started talking to him while peeing all over my friend. It was hilarious.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's kind of gross, but it's like, come on, Paddy Dunlop, Jesus. What are you doing?
Oh, dear.
What's going on, Paddy Dunlop? Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah,
funny.
He probably need to go to confession on that one.
Yeah.
If he remembered he did it, that's the problem.
Right, that's exactly right. He wouldn't even know what the hell. The next day, confession for what? I had a great time. I was here, and now I'm here again. He didn't even remember the trip to the pubs, probably.
I think they think it's home. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, they just practically, when the place opens up, there they are, and when the place closes, there they go.
Yeah.
I don't think they go very far. I really don't. And
probably
the pub culture in Ireland is so much nicer than in the UK, because we have a house in London, and we don't live there very much, but in England especially, there's so many people who are genuinely drunk.
Yeah.
They get drunk on a Friday night, and they try to sober up on Monday morning, and our country is going to have a lot of health issues from it. You're going to have people with liver failure, and there will be no livers for transplants.
Yeah.
And it's just that bad. You go into, on a Saturday, you go into the tube to come home from, I don't know, wherever you are, and you're walking over drunk people and trying to navigate around people, vomit and urine and what else could be on the ground. So it's really unpleasant. So we're here in Brazil, and it's quite nice here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. That's where I'm gonna do the flyby in Ireland. I think I'm about ready to.
Would you? Would
Yeah.
you please? Can you look for Donegal?
Oh yeah, I'll do that. What's the name of the? How do you spell it?
DONEGAL.
There it is. There it is. All right. Yeah, not too far. Well, I'm not sure how close it is to Killarney, but there it is.
No, it's not close. It's not close.
But you're not in, like, where's Northern Ireland? Oh, it's way up there. You're right at the edge, right? Like,
Well, I'm trying to see. I have you muted. Well, Northern Ireland, if you think Ireland's kind of shaped like the picture of Blue under his blankie.
yeah.
Okay. And so you've got the
Well, I
top right
can
edge.
I can do this. Hold on.
His,
I got
his
it.
blankie is sort of.
Oh, you're
the
just
top-
kind of. I see where you're at. Like they're just kind of in. I got the borders up on the screen, so you're kind of in this little sliver that fits up to the west of Northern Ireland. Right? You go through
Yes.
Kinlow, and then there's Donegal's next, but you're like left of like Pedigo and some other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Yeah. For some blessed reason, when they partitioned
Yeah. Weird. Huh.
the island, we got to stay. You know, we went into the Republic, and
They
not
should just
into,
give it all. I mean, just give it all back. Jesus, Maybe they don't
Well,
want
if
to. Maybe the other northern people don't want to. But at the same time, it's like, look how obvious it is. This big island. It's like a,
yes,
Yes,
it is. It's a long and terrible, struggle with the. It's not just religion. People say, oh, it's Protestant versus Catholic, and that's really not the reason for the the issues that the troubles.
Yeah.
It started out being purely social, economic reasons. The poor Catholic peasants were tied to the land, mercy of landowners, and we were less valuable than a sheep. But the people in the northern part of Ireland, they were transplanted in, they call it the plantation, during the reign of Elizabeth I, and they're basically Scots. They were Scots and Protestant. So they took over land that was owned by Catholics. In fact, the whole country, basically, Catholics didn't own any land after that. But what happened is, think about Belfast, that's where it's industrialized. That's where the ship works were. All the good jobs, and all the good jobs would go to the Protestants. That's what started it.
Huh. It's a little bit like kind of almost like Iraq with the Shiites and the. What am I talking? You Shiites?
Sunnis.
Sunnis. Jeez, my brain. I've been so far out of the politics. I used to know that stuff. Like I could just throw it out there. Yeah, like in Iraq, the Sunnis were the smaller population, but they got all the power, and that's why. And then the Shiites were more affiliated with Iran because they're Shiites, even though they didn't like Iran because they fought against them. But as soon as they took Saddam out, who was pro-Sunni, he kept the smaller minority in charge. They had elections. Then all of a sudden the Shiites become in power. Now they're a natural. Yeah, it gets really complicated all the time with these.
Yeah, well, that was the same complication, that the 6 counties up there, they knew that they would never again win a fair election because we Catholics outproduced the Protestants. We had 11 kids, 13 kids.
Yeah, right. That's a similar issue. Like, for example, in the, Germany right now, they allowed this huge population of, people from the Middle East to come in there, and they have way more kids than they were having in Germany. So it will only be like 50 years, and then the population will probably be reversed. Because it's like they were only having less than one. I think it was like one kid. It was not sustainable, I guess. And then, but now it's like, 7 or 8 kids. Whatever the hell it is, and it's just it's kind of I don't know. It's weird to me, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and the EU is the EU, and Unfortunately, Ireland is in it, so we're starting to get some refugees, and culturally they will never assimilate into our culture. So hopefully we learn to live together.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, it was a great call, everybody. So listen to what she said. Let's forget going over there anymore. I won't bring it up. Let's just forget about that entire channel, okay? That's it.
Pretend it doesn't exist, and people, please don't. Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, and see, the dog's saying the same thing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, listen to her, Louisa.
All right, I'm gonna do a flyby in your area, then, okay?
Bye-bye. Thank you.
I'm gonna be okay. All right, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Bye. Good night. Yeah, that was a cool call. I think that's right. I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with some of my Facebook friends, but it's hard. It was hard, but I think it's right. And I don't even really want to know about it, unless it's I don't. I just I don't know. I guess I'd rather know, but I'll try my best not to even do anything. All right. So, anyways, I see what you're seeing. You keep saying, Amy, over and over again, but I was on a call. That's not really that important to me. I don't even know if that's real. Okay, a guy's saying, oh, AJ asked him to build a soundproof secret room in his basement. Okay, all right. All right, maybe that has something to do with the story. I'll check it out later. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the show now. I'm going to turn this up. I'll check out the tweet later, see what it says. All right. But I always notice, Amy, you're the one that breaks in with breaking news and interrupts the actual flow. I mean, yeah, last night you did it. I guess it was okay because it was new information on that same case. But let's see. Yeah. So you guys ready? Okay, before I get off, though, hold on. I want to thank Jana Fan, Jen Richards, Ann Healy, thank you, and Lanky Tor, Delusional Lucidity, Lanky Tor, Cairo Al Qadir, Delusional Lucidity, Nona 617, Sun, Lanky Tor, and Wicked Gaming. Hey, I appreciate it, everybody. Wow, that was, I didn't even realize. I think I missed half of those while I was doing my show. But and also thanks for all the callers, Sassmare. Thank you for calling in. Very, he made me feel special. Thank you. All right, so here we go. Let's do the flyby.
Be with you of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to
Thanks, Mac. I'll try that.
And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
Wow.
Of all the comrades that dare I've had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that dare I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. And if it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call.
Good night, everybody.
Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all.
One more time.
Money that e'er I had. I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done, for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that dare I've had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that dare I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. And if it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all.
Hey, that was awesome. Audra Blankenship. That's her band called Ravens 3. She sells that DVD. It's awesome. And no, she doesn't pay me to say that. I actually just like it, and I appreciate it, and there you go. All right? It's good stuff. So, thank you for showing up tonight. Let's see, what's that?
They're coming to take me away.
Hey, that's the new sound effect that we have, all right? But anyways, let's not go over there and make no more comments over there. Let's just forget it. Okay? Because here's the thing, there was some other troll YouTubers out there. You probably remember them. And I just forgot all about them. Now I don't even know what they even still make videos. I really have no idea. You know, some people out of Colorado. You remember that? I don't remember any. I haven't even seen those people anymore. I don't even know if they're still making videos. So I think that's a good way to do it. All right. So she can just keep doing her little trolling videos, whatever kind of thing. We're just going to forget about it and go back to what we've been doing, by the way, covering all kinds of different cases, not just the Delphi case. All right? So, listen, I really appreciate everybody's support and everybody positive words, the nice comments. Some people are just born with the little screw loose, okay? And that's it. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up tonight. And again, thank you for supporting the channel. I feel like it's sort of like a family. The Freak Family. Freak Nation. I like that one. Might have to come up with that later. All right? Put that on a shirt. Huh? We'll draw our own continent on the United States map and call it... We'll put it out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. All right. Anyways, thanks, everybody. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.